So, Michael, what was it about this story that really pulled you in and said, this is my next movie?
You know, we've heard Benghazi, but I read this book, 13 Hours, and there was a great human tale, great heroic story that I never heard. I watched all the news shows like everybody else. I never heard this amazing story. It was a hell night. And I've worked with a lot of these special operators from being the first director ever to have a real SEAL team in The Rock. I was the first SEAL team ever allowed in a movie. That's when I was introduced to these type of guys. And since then I've I've become friends with a lot of SEALs. I've worked with the military extensively for 20 plus years. What's interesting about these type of guys is there's a selflessness quality and there's a humble quality, and it's I've wanted to honor these guys for a long time because I know them personally as friends, and I wanted to show people what they go through. And this is like 13 Hours. What's interesting about this movie, I think, it literally takes minute by minute what they were doing in their mission. You see the ebbs and flows of adrenaline and scariness, and it just keeps coming. It was a fucking nightmare this night. All right? I don't know if I can say that on JoBlo. But
yes, you can do it. Whatever you want on JoBlo.
Okay,
we're free. We're free and clear.
Okay. But like I said, this is a classic nightmare story, and when you have a nightmare, you want guys like this coming to help save your nightmare. You know.
You assembled really, it's an outstanding cast that you put together for this. Was there, and you grabbed up John Krasinski, who's right. Coming from somewhere that's not typical.
Okay, come on. I know what you're saying. I know.
How did you
what
make
you're saying
him?
Is say, why didn't you use movie stars? Okay?
No. I love that you use John Krasinski. I love it.
I know. I think it's so cool to take people where you didn't expect. And to use them. And remember, John's a big guy. He's got a big military family. Yep. And I think it's surprising when an audience is treated something like that, you know? And Jerry Bruckheimer, my good friend, producer Jerry Bruckheimer, he said, don't do this movie with movie stars. He didn't produce this movie, but he knew the story. He really wanted to do the story. And he says, don't use movie stars. He said, use great actors. It'll make it so much more realistic. And I think he's really right. I'm so glad he did that because the movie's a star.
I was talking to some of the other guys, and I told them, I think personally this is your most genuine film.
It is.
I walked out of it thinking this is the film that Michael Bay has been trying to make, which isn't to say there's anything wrong with the other film.
Right,
I mean, I love
different types of movies.
Yeah, but I feel like this is like pure Michael Bay.
What does that mean?
Feels like
pure,
the passion.
Pure.
It's like everything. It's got all the elements that's from your style, everything that you've always put into your films.
It's different style though.
But it brings it back. It feels very personal, and it feels like you're just in your zone, is what it felt like.
Well, in my zone because I was really into telling the story. I was really passionately into doing this right. But it's a little out of my comfort zone. Okay, because it doesn't have the boom, bam, it's like as a scene would go, if you're doing a blockbuster, it's like music. This is these tiny little personal moments, and you start putting them together, and it's like, I'm in the edit room, and I'm like, wow, this is intense, because it's real. That was a great eye-opener for me, and I think the way we shot it stylistically, I wanted to feel like you're right in there, and we used some new lenses and shot with Dion Beebe, who's an amazing DP. And I don't know, it was a blast to make. Hard, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard because if you've ever, let me tell you what Blue Night is, okay? That's when the sun goes down, all right? We're in the Med in Malta. When it goes down, you've got that cobalt blue sky for about 45 minutes. So, first night, I'm going to talk for a few minutes. First Blue Night we have, and I've got a brand new foreign crew, a lot of English, French, Italians, and I'm like, we're gonna do 4 shots in this quick time. We got 1 shot off. I'm like, we are fucked. All right, I got a lot of Blue Night in this movie, okay? And by the end of the shoot, they were so dialed in. We would walk through like in the afternoon. We'd get there around 3 because we shoot way late. I would walk through. Okay. on B roof, you were there with B camera. At 8:06, you were rolling that shot. At 8:07, we are here on A roof. I will be handheld over this with this type of millimeter. On the street at 8:17, we've got the cars rolling up. The camera must be ready there. So we had 5 cameras, and it's like, it was awesome. It was just, everyone would get quiet as the sun is going down, and we would knock that shit out. It was really impressive, you know?
I love
it was really fun.